I was thinking about another game that I had already played a lot of, which was called The Shogun, actually, because I played that game all at the college and teaching. And I thought, wow, I could just do that game. I know it really well. I've been playing on it a bunch of times. I'm serious. You can ask him. He will shamefully admit to being deep. But then I saw that the KISS controller was also up, and I realized that there was something else, some other way that I wanted to interpret this well-played idea. And so that's what we're going to try to do today. It's going to be an experiment, basically. This other meaning of playing something well, I wanted to look at it from the perspective of when you play a game for the first time, and it's a game that you've been anticipating, you kind of want it, you know, part of you is afraid that it's not going to be as good as you want it to be. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely remember sort of setting the stage for my first playthrough of a game. You know, I told my friends that I was sick and I wasn't going to answer the phone. I might wait till nighttime, like I did that with Resident Evil 4 actually, because I was like, oh, this game's going to be so much better if it's dark out and kind of spooky. So I sort of set the stage. I prepared myself for playing the game. And I thought, you know, it's not unlike this idea of a first kiss, maybe, where you're full of anticipation, you really want it to go well, you kind of prepare for it, you pick the right moment. And you know, and sometimes it's wonderful and it's more than you expected. Sometimes it's not that great, you gotta send it back or send the partner home. Or sometimes you stick it out and you're like, you know what, that was just the first time. Maybe it's gonna get better, you know, and that works for both kisses and games. So I was thinking along these lines, Hye Yeon Nam is the creator of the KISS controller, which sort of suddenly seemed to unite this idea of KISS and first playthrough, and you know, I just sort of saw in my head like, wow, I can tackle all of these issues at once. I haven't played this game at all before. Hye Yeon tried to explain to me how it's done, but maybe it's like kissing, you can't really get a tutorial on kissing. Yeah, it's better just to try, she said. So I think I want to start by asking her just a couple of questions about it, because I'm very curious. Since I saw it at E3, I've just been completely fascinated by it. Where did you get the idea for this game? What made you want to create this?
Hello, my name is Hye Yeon, and from Atlanta, and I didn't really expect to talk like this conversation.
Sorry.
But I can explain about my game originally. Well, I'm artist, so I use a lot of human behavior, which is like a positive hugging and touching, and something like express world. Then one day I realized, kissing is very clear and very positive behavior to express how much I love other than my partner, my girlfriend, or something like that. Then I realized, well, I think it's great input. Yeah, and why I don't need to kiss? Then I just use game as video. Yeah, it was not really special reason, but for me, like a game has a score, and the game has like different elements to keep it involved and want to enjoy and want to play. And then I remade the bowling game first.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, that's the first game. And now we make racing car game. And next we'll make double game. So like not just a single couple, and a lot of different couple and playing together.
Competitive kissing.
Yeah. And the first game was like a 10 season. I accumulate data, and they decide the both direction and speed. And I showed it at E3 and other festival. The feedback was, I want to see like the result when I just move my tongue. I want to see better like intuitive result. Then I thought, okay, in a racing car, you can just turn and left and right your race car. So I thought it's better. So then we made this game. And then, yeah, so it was not just a game we kiss one of the positive human behavior.
How did you play test this game?
Yeah, that's a good idea. The good question. I asked my friends, and they are all Georgia Tech students.
I know it's a flyer for that.
Yeah, I actually hired a user, and I sent email. Okay, I need a user test, and I need a couple who can kiss well. And if you are a good person, contact me, and I pay. It was really interesting. And a lot of people wanted to get mine. Yeah. And the interesting thing, after I made the user test, and after I did the user test, I interviewed them, and I asked how long are you dating, and how old they are, something like that question. And interesting is, usually, I don't know why, but usually younger couple and someone who just started dating, their score is higher. So it was really interesting, and I had a 3 years married couple and 7 years married couple and 3 months dating couple, something like that. And yeah, shorter term and work better.
Well, not being that young anymore myself. Another thing I was interested to explore with this is, you know, that the kissing is obviously very intimate, as you say. It demonstrates love and affection and intimacy. A racing game is a bit of a disconnect from that. So I'm wondering how it feels when you're enacting something that you normally do in this very sort of private, you know, spontaneous way to, you know, and then you layer that on top of trying to direct the action of a game where you're trying to score points. And so I'm wondering how that feels. Did you get any feedback around that?
Yeah, of course. We thought a lot different game, like action game, and if a couple think same thing, and they we thought a lot different types, like because it's kissing and couple and what is the best game, because the racing car maybe looks like a little bit not like a full couple or kiss. So we thought diagonalize their love if the score is higher and you overbuild each other and the score is low and you needed to improve something like that, then it was hard to show. And a lot of people, okay, kiss controller hardware is already really new. And if I make a really new game, people really hard to understand everything at the same time. So, okay, hardware input is really kind of new, and I think it's just better to use a game. A lot of people know about it. That's the reason I pick up this sports game, racing car game, or board game.
Yeah, that makes sense. So introduce one element at a time. Because it's true that, I mean, this input is quite challenging, and I'm kind of scared to try and turn people. But that's what this is all about. So I guess maybe you could start by you sort of explaining the components as we, yeah, so what we have here is we have this tiny, tiny little magnet, which you can't even see, but it's this little magnet. And then we've got this very, very sexy headgear. That's for you.
Might be the board.
Okay,
so persevere is headset, and it's a 300-degree movement, and a little bit flexible headband, so any head size can actually be high, because all people had a different size, and all kids style was all different. That was actually the hardest part for us, because all kids are different, and if we have a really great user test with one couple and next couple is very different.
Yeah.
what's in this?
Oh, and this is signal, wireless signal, and they send the signal to my computer with the buffer. And then you see this signal.
Here.
You don't want it permanent on your car.
I just put it on the wall
Make out. Do it.
If you see hard, you have extra time.
Round 2.
Great. Almost.
Yep.
Get something right.
The other way. Yeah.
Try something different.
Yeah.
Activate nitro.
Right? Use the move, man!
And please.
And when you are done, you're supposed to label your yeah, then you label yeah, and 6 digits. Yeah, you just of the 3 days is for one person, it's a couple of 60. The first three top people are my tester. And the middle is like us, and the last one is like a participant. When they play first time, it's hard, but they actually getting it better and better and better.
I feel like actually, because what's important is the relationship between the sides of the thing and your tongue. Sorry, so I just want to, so like holding the sides together and then using your tongue in between them is also important. So it's like kissing, but it's kissing like in a very specific sort of way, which is hard. Also, this fixing it feels
Yeah.
weird.
The interesting thing is when I show it usually in festival, younger couple try to do it in public, and older couple usually they don't try in public, but they ask me to practice it because they want to do it at school. Yeah, and also I have a different kind of couple, like a lot of different kinds of couple, and theirs are all different. It's really different.
Yeah. Do you have video footage of you sort of?
Yeah, I have.
Because I know you have some on your site. Yeah, it's really different styles of
Yeah.
kissing. I mean, it was exciting. I wouldn't say it was very romantic necessarily. Although I don't think I would do that with anyone else, right? Like I wouldn't take a volunteer from the audience.
Great.
Very good that you were here. What is interesting is that it does sort of make kissing into this very co-op game, right? Like, I mean, kissing is co-op, but in this sense, it was sort of like I had to coordinate with David, and I had to be like, no, you relax, I'm going to drive. Which I guess in a kiss,
I'm not used to that.
yeah. Whereas in a kiss, you sort of, there's all these body language and maybe unconscious cues that you're doing, but in this case, you have to be very conscious, yes, and direct.
That's also interesting for us because it's not just a normal kiss. They have to be conscious. It's a little bit weird. That's the reason why it's interesting. Okay, and also we have a plan to make another sensor with the kiss sensor because people gave me feedback. Why one person only can control? I want to control with them, so with him or her. Then we are making another third and fourth sensor, like a touching sensor, because usually when they kiss, they like a hug back or arm or face like that. So the next one, another sensor on the shoulder, so you can actually control the speed.
So David would be like accelerating.
Yeah. Or its own curve or something like that. That's really
Couple
appreciate
versus couple.
that. That's also.
Better practice. I guess that was sort of all I had. Yeah, questions?
So it's hard to watch the screen while you're kissing somebody. So why don't you do a music game where you can listen?
That's also the thought. Yeah, we wanted to make a two game. One is a rhythm game and one is a racing car game. And my collaborator Sam and Reno, he really wanted to make a rhythm game, but I don't know about music route, and we didn't really have enough time. So we thought, okay, I know what racing car game, so we make it first and make a rhythm game next. So that's what we make.
We got about 10, 15 minutes.